Hi everyone, so in this video what I want to talk about is idealistic distortion. So you've probably heard of the term cognitive distortions. I've actually made a few videos about this on my channel, and all a cognitive distortion is just a way of thinking which is distorted. It's not real. So an idealistic distortion refers to the tendency to view something, whether it's a relationship or a situation, through a lens of being overly positive or unrealistic expectations. So a person who has idealistic distortion would ignore or minimize the negative aspects of something, and it can lead to a discrepancy between their perception and the reality. So this can cause people to have, it's on the same level I think as perfectionism as well. So if you expect something to be completely perfect, say you're planning a birthday party and you've got everything laid out, you've got all the food, you've done all the decor, everything's perfect, but in your mind, you can only see faults with it. You can only pick out what could go wrong. That would be a cognitive distortion on the negative aspect. The other point could be, as this example that I found online, was if you're in a relationship and you only see the relationship as perfect. So this happens a lot, I suppose, if someone's in maybe an abusive relationship or a relationship where they're not being treated well. So if someone has idealistic distortion, no matter what other people are seeing or other people are telling them, no matter what evidence is in front of them, they can only really view this as perfect. They'll say, yeah, well, this person's mistreats me, cheats on me, speaks to me badly, but that's only because of this, and that's not really who they are, or that's only because they drink, or that's not the real person, or it's my fault, or whatever it is. So with this person, they're distorting the reality because they don't really want to see the truth. The reality is too scary. So it involves seeing only the best and ignoring potential problems in situations. It can lead to inflated expectations of how things should be. So it can mean that you're living in this fairy tale land where when other people are being realistic, you can dismiss what they're saying. You can even mock them and say, well, you know, you're too negative, or you are not seeing the reality, when it's actually you're the person that's not seeing the reality because you've got a distorted view of reality. It can lead to a gap between your perception and the actual state of affairs. So that can leave you in situations where you're vulnerable, because if you can't see the reality of something and you're not able to actually look at what's going on, it can leave you in a place where you put yourself in danger, where you are constantly feeling disappointed because it can almost lead you to feel confused, because in your mind you're seeing things from one perspective, everything else in front of you, the evidence and other people are seeing it from a different perspective. So you're very confused because that's generally how you feel, but you're scared of the reality. So it's a cognitive bias where someone's perception is skewed. So it's all based on the perception, and that's the same as with any cognitive situation. That's the same as with cognitive distortions where you are negatively looking at yourself. So a good example with someone who just feels not good enough, no matter if they've achieved jobs, no matter if they're in a stable relationship, no matter if all the evidence around them is that they are good enough or they are worthy, they just don't feel that way. That is classed as a negative cognition or distortion. This is similar, but it's the other way around. So the only thing you can really do with things like this is to base everything you're feeling on evidence, but also say to yourself, what is holding you back from the reality? Is it that you feel you're going to feel hurt if you start to look at things from a different way? Are you scared of reframing things, because that will mean you might have to take certain action? Working with a counsellor or a coach or working with someone can sometimes help with these sorts of things, because it's not about judging yourself or someone else telling you what you should do differently. It's more about looking at things from a holistic way, so that, yeah, there might be some positives in here, but there are also some reality which could be negative. What do we do about that? So idealistic distortion is something that I haven't done much work with, and it's something that I've only recently started to look into myself. So maybe I'll make more videos on this, but let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts.